No matter what strategy that you trade, this is how you can get ahead of 99% of other traders. If you focus on these 4 components, it is virtually impossible that you do not perform better than what you are right now. What you're going to find is you're probably neglecting some of these areas. And I'm going to give you a really simple exercise that you can do almost instantly that's going to fix the majority of your problems. So this is going to be a very sit down, raw conversation. Grab your coffee, your cup of tea, whatever you need. And I want you to think about becoming the best trader that you could be. Imagine that you're now this competent trader making the money that you want to make, living the life of your dreams. Every single vision that you once had when you wanted to become a successful trader, that has now happened. Many traders go wrong is because they don't actually think about where their time is being allocated to achieve that vision. I didn't get in this position just by focusing on technicals alone. I also didn't get in this position because I have a magical strategy. There were lots of different components. Now I'm a successful trader and have been for very many years. I can look back on things that maybe at that time I didn't believe was significant as what it actually was. So I want to share them with you. 4 components. And the exercise is really simple. I want you to grab a fresh sheet of paper and write at the top time. I want you to work out how much time you're allocating to these different tasks. And what you're going to figure out very quickly, what is being neglected. Usually what is being neglected is the very thing that you need to double down on to break through to the next level. So if you're someone who is a funded trader, or you're trying to become funded, or you're just trying to make money in general, maybe you're doing the break-even dance and you failed to become consistently profitable. It's probably because you don't even know what you're neglecting. I mean, how could you? So let's look at it. What are the 4 components? Number 1, your technicals. Really simple. How much time do you allocate towards your technicals, improving your technicals every single week? Number 2, your mental framework, your psychology. How much time do you allocate towards this every single week? Number 3, your routines. How much time is allocated to your routine? And this means your morning routine and your evening routine. And then number 4, your systems and your processes for your trading. How much time is allocated to that? Now, I'm going to go off of a whim here and say most of you have got no idea what that percentage, what that number is. And that's part of the problem. We neglect so many areas that is going to elevate us to the next level, and we focus all of our time and attention on what we'd like. But what you like about trading isn't necessarily what is going to make you money. Now, I know many of you will resonate with this. Who once enjoyed or didn't enjoy journaling? I almost guarantee 90% of you did not journal your trades straight away. Some of you still don't journal, which is another thing. Like, you're crazy, like psychopath traders that are not journaling. How are you learning? And I know some people will take like 1 or 2 years and they're like, do you know what? It took me a while till I really started, journaling, which is so interesting because what you've done, and I understand why you've done it, because I've done that as well. So, scammer alert. I'm joking. Genuinely, I did not take journaling seriously for the first period of my trading. However, the answers are in the journaling, so you will get ahead a lot quicker. So that's an example of, you know what you should be doing, but because you don't like it, because it's a bit tedious and it's a bit boring, you don't do it. So when I come on here and I tell you things like you should treat trading like a business, this is one of those things. Think about it right now. Imagine you run a business. Do you believe that you would love every area of your business? I highly doubt it. So I think it's a bit unrealistic to come into trading and think that you should only focus on the things you enjoy, which is probably the dopamine, the trading, whilst you're, in the thick of it, when you feel like a trader. And that's part of the problem as well. You identify and feel like you're a trader the more you participate in the market, which is, again, it's a myth. It is false. It's got nothing to do with how much participation you do in the market. The reality is a lot of trading is about waiting and then ready to execute, strike while the iron is hot, more of a sniper than a machine gun. So what I want you to think about when you're writing down on a piece of paper, what are the areas that I don't particularly enjoy? And it's good for you to note that. And you have to be brutally honest with it. So you have to write it down on a sheet of paper. What should I be doing? But I know I don't enjoy it. So is it backtesting? Is it journaling? Is it, weekly advanced self-review? What is it about trading that you don't enjoy? And then you put a percentage next to how much time do I allocate. I'm very confident the things that you don't really enjoy doing, you're not going to have spent too much time there. So imagine you're now this athlete that all you've ever done is turn up to training late. You don't stretch, you don't warm up, you don't cool down, you don't recover properly. What's the chances that you're going to get injured really easily? Probably quite high. So this is an example of people trading the financial markets. They're constantly injured. They're constantly wounded by the market because they don't do all of the things that are necessary to keep you performing at a high level, and they ignore everything else. I've already given you the 4 points. Really simple. Your technicals, your psychology, your routines, and your trading systems. That is all it is. So if you can write on a fresh sheet of paper how much percentage and time that you spend on each one, you're going to get your answer. Imagine that you look at it and go, I've just realized I spend 80% of my time on technicals, and then the rest of it is just kind of scattered throughout, the rest of them. And some of them maybe you don't even do. You might even have journaling, 0. And then you ask yourself, who do I know that is profitable, consistent over a long time frame, does really, really well, and equally goes out of their way to tell you, I just never journal my trades? No one. So then you're putting yourself into a category of 0. You've put yourself in a category, so you're going to be the only one that doesn't journal but still becomes profitable. Yet there's 0 examples of people that have done that. So I think a lot of the times we don't look at it in a black and white. What gets people profitable? And if you focused on those things and realized what percentage of time you spend on each one, you'll know what you're neglecting. And I've often found with working with lots of people over the years, the thing that they're neglecting is the very thing that's going to break them through the resistance. So imagine you're there thinking, I'm not profitable yet because I don't understand how to enter the market this way, or I don't know how to understand how to manage my trades better. And if I understand how to manage my trades better, then I'll break through. And right under your nose is impulsivity, with a lot of traders struggle with, by the way, and most of them don't even realize it. It's this impulsiveness to just get involved in the market. And I'll tell you what the problem is. The root of it is the way that they see the word trader. So if I said, what is a Forex trader? In their mind, they have an image. And that image is someone who is regularly placing trades. They have an image of it. And it's all subconscious. So if their image in their mind of someone who is a trader is someone who is regularly trading, maybe they trade every single day, they're constantly in the market. So then what happens is when they're not participating in the market, they almost don't feel any of that adrenaline, none of it. So they would rather make mistakes just to participate, to feel like they are a trader, not realizing that part of the formula is actually knowing when to step back. Like, you need to know when to go aggressive into the market, size in, and you also need to know when to, let me just relax a little bit. Maybe this is not a good week for me to trade. Maybe it's an election. Maybe there is a lot of uncertainty and volatility, but it's not your typical uncertainty, so it probably wouldn't be smart for me to trade right now. But it's the impulsiveness that keeps you in there. So imagine you then spend and waste another year of your life technical when you're in the same position. Now, hey Mark, I'm still doing a break-even dance. I can see that you're still doing a break-even dance, but you're equally still just as impulsive as you was last year. Fix that impulsivity and you'll be profitable. So hey Mark, another year goes by. I'm still doing a break-even dance. I've learned another system, but you're still impulsive. So it doesn't matter what strategy you have, you're still going to be impulsive. It's the whole point. So even if you lean on the side of, I don't want to go too off of a different topic here because this is not what I wanted to cover in this video, but let's say we go into the ratio of what is psychology, what is technicals. Let's say you are on the side of, I'll go the extremely other side, 80% technicals, 20% psychology. Let's say I was wrong and that was true. I'm not wrong, but let's say I was wrong and it was true that it was actually just 80% technicals and psychology wasn't even that important. It was just 20% mental framework, chuck that in the bin, not even that important. You don't spend any time on it anyway, so you spend 0% of time on the 20%. So it doesn't matter where you lean, it doesn't matter if you believe that it's 50, 50, 80, 20, 90, 10, doesn't matter. You spend 0% of it anyway. And unfortunately, reading the odd book here and there, it's not really going to cut it. Otherwise, it would have created so many millionaires, but it hasn't, and when you really think about it, a lot of your success is going to be really deliberate. And when you get it like a well-oiled machine and you actually understand what your working week is made up of, you're going to get closer towards profitability. You can't be fumbling your way through is what I'm trying to articulate. And a lot of traders are not profitable, not because they're incompetent, don't know how to read the charts. most people that you meet that have traded lots of different strategies, I often find they're not a million miles away from understanding market structure, supply and demand, whatever it is they're trading. They're not confused about, what the market is doing. They can identify an entry pretty well. It's themselves that suffers. And even if they've got a great mentality, and this goes to the other part, even if they've got a really fairly good mindset, so they're not all over the place, they're not impulsive, they've got some good traits that help them become profitable, and their technical skill is good, it will be something else. Like their trading processes are all over the place, so they'll fall into the trap of technically switched on because they've done enough charting. Their mindset's good because they've done enough training, but because they don't treat trading like a business, they neglect things like journaling. They don't really do any weekly ASR. They barely back test. They don't forward test. So they kind of just go off of instinct, and they get away with it for quite a long time. And that's the scary part. The market can let you get away with a lot of things for longer than you think, and until you don't, and then it comes back to haunt you in a slippery slope. I've seen it thousands of times. So many people all over the world. You can't escape that. So then, where is the fix? The problem happens there is that person who's got fairly decent mindset, good technicals, who's got away with doing fairly well, like from a monetary point of view, for a period of time, that person doesn't connect the dots. So when things start to fail, they don't go, oh, hold on a minute, I've got to have that level of self-awareness. Is just so unlikely to say, I've gotten away with these things for such a long time because my technicals were at a good standard, my mindset's at a really good standard, but my trading processes all over the shop. It's very rare they're going to be able to make that connection and then go, if I was to fix this and this, still continue with my same technical ability and my mindset, I'd be profitable. They don't. They switch strategies. They then go deeper into things they shouldn't. They've got no idea. And that's why in this industry, it's an absolute minefield when you don't build the habits from the start. I'm explaining it to you in this way is because trading can become such a headache and much harder for you to break through to consistency, which is what you want if you neglect the important things up front. Where if I was starting trading again from the beginning, I would 100% just prioritize those things. I would find a strategy that I resonate with, like, right, is it proven? Are people making money with it? Is it good? Like whatever vetting you want to do, tick number one, got it now. Number two, I'd be allocating an amount of time that I can track, by the way, how much time I'm allocating towards improving my mind, the psychology of the market, etc., etc. Perfect. I can track that every week and say I have allocated this amount of time to improving that because I understand how important the mental game of trading is. Then it's going to be my routines. Morning routine, evening routine, keep it nice and simple. How long do I spend in that? Imagine you're a trader who spends like 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening. Like, come off it. 4 hours a day of your trading is built from your morning and evening routine. Don't get me wrong, we experiment on things and maybe you trial in a few things out, but if I'm thinking about what's going to make you profitable in the long run, it's not going to be these big elaborate routines. It's going to be nice and simple. How much time? Let's say you got 20-30 minute routine in the morning, 30 minutes in the evening. That's all you need. 1 hour a day, nice and simple. And then in between that, you're trading, of course. Get that unlock. And then it's going to be your trading processes. And that can be back testing, maybe an ongoing thing, or forward testing, maybe, once a week you allocate a certain amount of time to back test an instrument. Fine. On a weekly basis, do your advanced self-review. You should allocate a certain amount of time and go, right, on a Saturday, Sunday, whichever day that you pick, I allocate 1 or 2 hours to go through my trades, my missed trades, etc., etc. Because at least that way, if I looked at that trader, I would say this person is taking it seriously because they've covered all bases. So my question is for you, have you covered all bases? Probably not. The reason why you're not in the position you want to be, because you never covered the bases. You took all of the shortcuts, realizing that there is no shortcut. The only way is the long way, and the long way is actually the shortcut. So if you'd done that up front, you'd be further on. You'd probably be funded right now. You'd probably be making money. How do you gain a competitive advantage over 99% of traders? Just do what I'm telling you to do, because 99% of traders don't do that, and that's why they fumble and change 5 strategies over 5 years, wondering why they're not in the position they want to be. So I would prioritize that. If I started off right from the beginning, I would be going all into those because I know I would gain an edge. After all, traders' obsession is on edge. They have a technical edge, but they lack an edge everywhere else. So you got to ask yourself, how are you going to now, with the information that I'm giving you, with the exercise that I've given you, which is so straightforward, how can you act without delay, with speed, and start executing on that straight away, so you can put yourself in the category of the top 1%. Maybe the very thing that you're neglecting is going to get you to the level that you want to be.